Hello again folks and welcome to another video. Now apologies for the radio silence over the past couple of months. Looking at my YouTube channel I can see that the last full video I posted was from the 12th of April, quite a while ago. So let me tell you why that is and discuss a few ideas I have for future content, all whilst letting this replay of a race I had in Forza Motorsport the other night play in the background. I will be doing a full Forza Motorsport update video soon, as this title has really fermented like a good wine into quite a nice game now. I say game, as I still don't view it as a true sim, but more on that in my future video. So why the enforced hiatus? Well, a couple of reasons, and such is life, it's a mixture of good and bad. Firstly, the good. My wife and I were down again in the south of France on holiday for the last 2 weeks in April. It's always interesting to visit Monaco at this time of the year, just a few weeks away from the Grand Prix, and see all the infrastructure for the race being built. It's quite an amazing sight, how they just spend weeks and weeks transforming the Principality into a racetrack, basically for 3 days of action, and then have to tear it all down again at the end of it and store it away again for another year. We managed to catch up with Rosie, our dear friend who we first met in 1996 whilst we were on our honeymoon in Monaco. Rosie was still running the Chatham Bar, affectionately known as Rosie's Bar. This is a real piece of F1 motorsport history. I might do a video on Rosie's Bar one day, just as a little aside from sim racing. Anyway, she is still going strong at 94 years of age, good God. We also managed to catch the Saudi Arabian qualifying and the Grand Prix at Gerhard's Bar in Monaco, and a very nice gentleman let me have a seat in the Z-Type Jag. What a beautiful car that was. Secondly, a mix of bad and good. I've had some hardware problems with my sim racing desktop. I've got two desktops here at Old Man Central, one which is purely for sim racing and is part of my sim racing rig obviously, and a second one which is not so well specified but I use it for all my video, photo editing and kind of day-to-day use. On the sim racing desktop I had a 1TB M2 NVMe SSD which suddenly disappeared one day from Windows. I have another 256GB NVMe SSD and that only has the operating system on it. All my sim racing titles were on the 1TB one. So one day I booted my system up, fancying having a little drive, and it's not showing up at all in disk management or the BIOS. Anyway, I tried all the usual remedies myself, but the bottom line is the machine is away back to PC Specialist here in the UK, who I bought it from in 2022, just to get this looked at. The drive may still be under warranty, but they need to check the serial number and manufacturer. But I'm also taking the opportunity to get a couple of little upgrades fitted, faster CPU, and I'm getting an extra SSD chucked in there as well. So there you have it. I've not actually disappeared, I've just had a little bit to do and I have plenty more content coming down the line soon. One thing I have been really getting into over the past few months is emulation of older systems, arcade machines and some older consoles. So I've been revisiting some of my favourite driving games from my youth, or in many cases discovering these games for the first time. Being the wrong side of 60, I spent my teenage years in awe of arcade games as they developed in the late 70s and early 80s. The first console that I owned was a Mega Drive, if I remember rightly, and I think I had a SNES, a Super Nintendo, shortly after that. I only jumped on the Sony bandwagon at PlayStation 3, and I've never owned an Xbox, so imagine some of the titles that I am discovering for the first time from these two systems alone. There are some absolutely fantastic driving titles. I'm mainly using Retrobat and Technoparrot on my workstation PC to emulate these titles. but I'm also dipping my toe in emulation on my Steam Deck, and that works really, really well. I've also bought a couple of handheld devices from AliExpress, which are incredible little devices. They're only about 20 or 30 pounds. I can't remember the name of the first one, but the second one's an Anbernic. These are great for just carrying around in your pocket, whipping them out and having a little shot of an old driving game. So I'll do a few little videos on that as well. So whilst I'll always keep the focus of this channel on serious driving sim titles, I am going to be producing a few videos from around the whole emulated driving titles from the past and the software and hardware that I use to play these. If you have any suggestions of older driving games for me to try out, or you have particular favourites that you would like to see featured, tell me in the comments below. So, lastly, thanks to all you current subscribers for the continuing support. If this is your first time finding the channel and you've had a look at some of the content and you enjoy it, please do leave a like and subscribe. It really does help with this YouTube algorithm and getting these videos and the channel in front of the people who are interested in sim racing. Leave a comment. I read all the comments left on the videos and I pretty much reply to most of them as well. That is the thing I really enjoy most about running this channel, sharing this hobby with you guys and interacting with all of you. So, I will see you again very soon with some new content. Cheers for now.